Indian lawyer, politician, and independent activist Mahatma Gandhi is known for his non-violent resistance to British colonial rule. His title, Mahatma, means great soul in Sanskrit. It is said that he was named after the Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore, but this is not certain. In fact, Tagore studied law at the University of London, where Gandhi graduated but dropped out. From the age of 8, Tagore had been writing poetry in Bengali. Tagore became the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913.
Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869, in Porbandar State, a small country in Gujarat, India, the third son of Karamchand Gandhi and Patrabai. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was the Prime Minister of Porbandar. The religion of the Gandhi family was Vaishnava, a sect that worshipped Vishnu, and especially his mother was extremely devout.
However, his family also had many friendships with the Jains and Muslims. Gandhi's caste was the commoner, Vaishya. Mohandas Gandhi spent his childhood in Porbandar. When he was 7 years old, his father became a vassal of Rajasthani and he moved to Lazarkot, where he went to elementary school and high school. In 1883, while still in school, at the age of 13, he married Kastubai of the Mackenzie family. According to Gandhi's autobiography, his childhood was not so exemplary. Gandhi's childhood aberrations include that he ate meat at the recommendation of his friend.
However, in the case of meat, curiosity rather than appetite drove him, and the reform culture that prevailed in India at the time. That is, there was a movement to get rid of irrational cultural traditions such as caste and Hinduism in India, and to embrace the rational culture of the West, mainly British, and one of those practices was to eat meat like the British.
So, starting with goat meat brought by a friend, he ate meat for about a year, and then one day, he realized that he no longer wanted to eat meat or enjoyed the taste of meat, so he quit eating it.
As for other deviation, he wrote that he was tempted by prostitution after a fight with his wife. When he was 12, he stole money from a servant to buy cigarettes. And when he was 15, he wrote that he stole a piece of his brother's gold bracelet.
Afterward, he wrote that he was forgiven by his father and that he stopped. He said he had also attempted suicide once. In 1885, when Gandhi was 16 years old, his father Karamchand Gandhi died. The death of his father brought great shock and change to Mohandas Gandhi. At that time, Gandhi had sex with his wife during the night and he could not be present at his father's deathbed. And because of this, Gandhi later lived an abstemious life. After that, Gandhi passed the university entrance examination in November 1887 and entered Samaldas College in Barnagar State. After spending a semester there during vacations, Mapji Dev, a friend of his late father's, advised him to study abroad in England where the friend's son Kavalam Dev was.
Mohandas Gandhi, who earned low grades and lost interest at Samaldis University, persuaded his hesitant mother by swearing not to drink, eat meat, or have an affair.
Gandhi stayed in Bombay for a month, and at this time, he was summoned by Shed, the head of the caste of the Mahbaniya caste to which Gandhi belonged.
And here he heard threats masquerading as persuasion, but Gandhi's will could not be broken. Also, the taboo that many Hindus believed he would lose caste status by crossing the Black Water, Kalapani, did not stop him.
On September 4th, 1888, Gandhi left Bombay, India, and arrived in Southampton, England at the end of September. Gandhi originally wanted to become a soldier, and when the British Boer War broke out in 1887 at the age of 19, he voluntarily enlisted in the British Army, but failed the physical examination and was unable to enlist.
Why didn't Gandhi pass the physical examination for the British Army, Emma?
I think Gandhi didn't eat meat and only ate vegetarian, so he couldn't be as strong as the British young men.
Yeah, you're right. Tony, do you think so too?
Yes, that's right. I totally agree with Emma's opinion. Usually carnivores are strong and eat herbivores, right?
Yes, that's correct, Tony.
In 1888, he went to England and studied in London, where he obtained a lawyer's license. After graduating from college, Gandhi left for South Africa in 1893 to open his own law office. One of the episodes in which Gandhi became aware of his identity as an Indian at this time was an incident where he was thrown out of the train with his luggage. Even though he legitimately purchased the ticket as an Indian, he was kicked out of first class, which was physically separate from business class on today's airplanes. However, a British passenger in the first class called the conductor and asked him to get Gandhi out because he didn't want to be with the smelly coolie, so the conductor told Gandhi to leave immediately.
Oh my god, Tony, what do you think about Gandhi being kicked out from the train?
It is clearly racism. It's a discrimination. On this day, it would be a case of being sued.
I absolutely agree with you, Tony. Oh, my goodness.
Besides, the conductor did not stop at kicking him out of first class. He insulted Gandhi by telling him to go to the luggage compartment because there were no seats in the second and third class.
Gandhi refused to do so, so the conductor, along with the train staff, forcibly kicked him off the train.
It was nothing to them to ridicule Gandhi as he was removed. After being kicked out of the train, Gandhi got on the stagecoach without much trouble, but here too, the English coachman of the stagecoach wanted to smoke in his seat, so he was humiliated and asked to leave.
Even upper-class Gandhi, who grew up in an upper caste and received an elite education in Britain, was discriminated against simply because he was Indian.
The British Empire only outwardly referred to the colonies as equally British, but in reality, people there were very despised and discriminated against as second-class citizens. And only then did Gandhi become aware of his Indian identity. In another episode, after returning from a trip to India with young Indians, white South Africans who opposed the anti-government movement mobbed Gandhi, and in response, Mrs. Alexander, the wife of the South African police chief, stepped in to protect him. Gandhi started an anti-government movement by forming a group against the South African state immediately after starting his practice as a lawyer. In particular, Gandhi strongly opposed the South African government's law requiring foreign immigrants to be recorded in order to protect citizens.
Gandhi insisted on the repeal of these laws, and he was caught and arrested for trying to start a grassroots protest. As soon as Gandhi returned to India after being released from prison in 1899, he heard that the Second Boer War had broken out in South Africa and volunteered to enlist in the British Army again.
Gandhi successfully passed the British Army's enlistment test and physical examination and was commended by the British Army, but at the time, he was a volunteer with no documented rank.
A war between the 350,000 British and 70,000 Allied forces of the Transvaal Republic, an Orange Free State, founded by Dutch Boers, ended with a British victory on the 31st of May 1902. The first 2 years dragged on with the persistent resistance of the Boers, but in order to end the war early, the Commonwealth sent 350,000 troops, equal to the entire population of 400,000 Boers at the time.
The British carried out an annihilation operation that did not discriminate between soldiers and civilians, and in the end, they were victorious by killing 100,000 people, a quarter of the total population of the Boers. At this time, Gandhi and the Indians were assigned as medics to evacuation missions and were awarded medals in recognition of their successful evacuation mission under harsh conditions. After that, Gandhi became a representative of the ethnic minorities living in South Africa and participated as a member of various organizations. But he did not rise to important positions because he was an incumbent soldier. However, Gandhi did not do anything special other than adding his name to a petition against the discrimination against the Indians. David Thoreau's civil disobedience influenced Gandhi's non-violent disobedience movement.
When the Asian Registration Act was passed in South Africa in 1906, Gandhi launched the first non-violent disobedience movement, the Satyagraha movement. This movement was the first to apply the principle of non-violence to a large-scale political activity.
Indians refused to be fingerprinted, and miners went on strike. After 7 years of protest, the Asian Registration Act was revoked. When World War I broke out in 1914, this time Gandhi joined the British Army as a recruiter.
that time, many young people saw Gandhi, who was in the spotlight, as a war hero and applied to the British Army, and their numbers reached hundreds of thousands. After the end of the war, when the British Army was victorious, Gandhi was once again awarded a commendation from the British King in recognition of his faithfulness as a recruiter. Afterward, Gandhi was awarded 3 British military orders, including the Order of Commendation, which he received when he retired from military service. However, although he was a British soldier, he could not be promoted any further because he was an Indian, and he was subjected to various kinds of discrimination as an Indian in Britain.
When he was also rejected by the British, he eventually entered the Indian political world and led the full-fledged Indian independence movement. Gandhi was 50 years old when he started his independence movement. Thank you for watching the Mahatma Gandhi video provided by History and Current Events. Helena, Olivia, Katie, Emma, and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Part 2 is coming soon. Thank you.